Here is a glass. Imagine that we, all of us together, combined all of our experience and came up with the ultimate solution to everything and put it right here in this glass. Behold, the ultimate solution to everything. And that's where we fall off the happy path of the sermon. Because I need to put my red shirt on because now, if I believe that I have the true and the wholesome solution, look out. Because you might see me start to get a little frustrated when people start disagreeing with or questioning the effectiveness of my solution. Or angry when people don't even want to hear my solution. Or stunned when people go on to use broken, terrible solutions. Or shocked at the devastation and the outcome of all this tragedy and maybe even the loss of life. And you might see me get a little furious when people, after all that, continue to ignore the solutions that I know will help. So grab your armor, get your weapons, because the war of who's right and who's wrong has just begun. And obviously, anyone who disagrees with our solution is obviously wrong and must be defeated. And the people who are right must win the war. So, what weapons have we got at our disposal? Perhaps some rewards are in order. I'll pay you $50 to drink this. Or maybe some compliments. I'll tell you how smart and wise you'd be if you just drink this solution. Or maybe I'll do you special favors. I'll treat you nicer. I'll add sugar in. What? You still don't want to drink this? Maybe some punishments are in order. Maybe I should call you some names, like idiot, or threaten you. Drink this or else. Guilt trips. If you love me, if you care about anybody at all in this world, maybe I need to give some good ultimatums. You know what? To not drink this would be an act of true evil. So sadly, we have rewards and we have punishments that are honestly just making things worse. Please, no more rewards. No more punishments. No more war over who's right and who is wrong, because we can do better. There are a million ways to solve all kinds of problems. There's a million ways to make the world a better place. But first, before we solve anything, do we have an accurate understanding of the true needs we are trying to address? Have we connected with the suffering of the people that we are trying to help? Short answer is nope, probably not, and here's why. The things that I legitimately need and the things that you legitimately need are not always exactly the same in every situation. I often assume that what you need and the current needs at hand are the same as mine. Thus, my wonderful, awesome, lovely solution. But if we're fighting, the things in this situation that we both need are probably not what we think they are. What? You need something different? What is it? Why? Well, you can ask somebody what their needs are, but they're probably not going to tell you. A, they don't know how to tell you what their needs are, and B, they wouldn't trust you to know what their needs are even if they did know how. And so it comes down to this. The true needs of others will stay hidden until we give legitimacy. And this is the key point. The gift of legitimacy always comes before understanding. And understanding always comes before relevant solutions. In fact, putting the search for legitimate needs first does way more than just increasing the chances that you'll find a relevant solution. When you give legitimacy, you may in fact find that it breaks your heart open in ways that just tear you to pieces. You may in fact see that all of your hard-fought, painfully acquired solutions won't do anything to relieve one bit of suffering for the person you're trying to help. You may, in fact, in some cases, you may see that despite a lifetime of experiences, you're standing next to somebody and you have no hope of any possible solution. Giving legitimacy is powerful like that. And so, another quick moment for a costume change. I need to put my red shirt on because now I'm going to play devil's advocate for a second. Who, me? A legitimate person? I don't believe it. Who, that person? No. That person legitimate? I will never see that person as legitimate or anyone like them ever again. I mean, can we really safely consider everyone to be a legitimate person? Come on. How can we protect ourselves if we don't condemn the people that disagree with us? And hey, as if that isn't a big enough problem all by itself, I've got dark things in my own closet. If you only knew all the things that I've thought, the things that I've done, the people I've hurt, the people I've disappointed and disgusted, then maybe you'd see it's not such a good idea to go farming out legitimacy to everyone, especially me. If you want legitimacy, you have got to show me some kind of a pattern. I've got to see in you something I can trust, something I can predict, something I can rely upon. A pattern in what you do, a pattern in what you say, a pattern in what you believe. Do you do unto others as you would have them do unto you? Show me. I need to see it. You show me that and I've got no problem calling you a legitimate person. I'll even put you on a pedestal and make you famous. But if what you do and what you say and what you believe crosses me, you'll get no legitimacy from me. I am done with you. So thankfully, legitimacy does not live in the patterns of what we do, or of what we say, or in what we believe. How can it? Our behaviors prove themselves time and again to be imperfect, hard to classify, and even harder still to interpret. No, sadly, there is no reliable, feel-good pattern of behaviors that we can always depend upon to keep us safe. Legitimacy comes from a deeper place. Remember the first principle of Unitarian Universalism. We believe in the inherent worth and dignity of every person. We get legitimacy as a baby when we are born into this world, and we keep it throughout our entire lives. Why? The reason is because legitimacy lives in our needs. The needs we experience in life teach us legitimacy. Our needs brand us and cause us to recognize one another as legitimate. I've experienced your needs, and you have experienced mine. The essence of legitimacy is in our needs. Legitimacy doesn't live in our behaviors. Legitimacy lives in our needs. So do you have a cause that's stuck because people keep rejecting your solutions? Do you have a relationship that's stuck with problems that don't seem to go away year after year and sometimes decade after decade? Embrace legitimacy and let it bring you the revelations and the enlightenment to help you get unstuck. Let the 3 spiritual practices of giving legitimacy guide the way. The first spiritual practice is to see legitimacy. Fight to see legitimacy in every person. Our world is not about the spiritual practice of seeing legitimacy. Our world believes in erasing legitimacy thoroughly. Why? Because with other people's needs erased and out of the way, we get to focus exclusively on meeting our own needs. Winner takes all. We think that if someone does something that doesn't meet our needs or the needs of the people we care about, that person's legitimacy deserves to be erased. They should be demonized. Don't fall for that. Don't fall for all the ways that people label other people as illegitimate. Immigrants, refugees, foreigners, there are no undocumented citizens of our world. See legitimacy anyways. Lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and every kind of sexual or asexual person, there are no sexual abominations. See legitimacy anyways. Winners, losers, heroes, rejects, successes, failures. There are no superior and inferior people. See legitimacy anyways. Well, throughout our entertainment and our news media, we have the bad guys. There are no bad guys. See legitimacy anyways. Well, there are some people that go as far as to believe in crazy, radical things. No. There are no religious extremists. See legitimacy anyways. Donald Trump, Barack Obama, Democrats, Republicans, white supremacists, pro-choice, pro-life. There are no political rivals. See legitimacy anyways. Rapists, racists, shooters, terrorists, misogynists, child molesters, pedophiles, sex offenders, and endless labels for others. There are no monsters. Fight to see legitimacy anyways. Someone might say, if we don't have the undocumented, the sexual abominations, the superior and inferior people, the bad guys, the religious extremists, the political rivals, and the monsters of this world, what do we have? We have legitimate people with the same universal feelings that we too have felt, and the same universal needs that we too have needed. So please, protect yourself and protect your loved ones and protect everyone who needs protecting with the force of a hurricane if necessary. Because to be sure, there are illegitimate actions, illegitimate thoughts, and illegitimate beliefs. But please, with the same fierceness, protect the legitimate feelings and the legitimate needs and the legitimate worth and dignity of all. You need, and we all need, the legitimacy of other people, because giving legitimacy always comes before understanding. And understanding always comes before relevant solutions. And wow, do we need relevant solutions. Grandfather Buffalo was old and slow, but he was still a part of the herd. See legitimacy anyways. The second spiritual practice is to hear legitimacy. You're probably not going to get very far seeing legitimacy if you haven't heard legitimacy. In other words, you need to hear empathy before you can give empathy to someone else. I want to whisper a huge secret in your ear, and once you hear this secret, you'll be able to hear legitimacy everywhere from everyone. It's a powerful secret that makes hearing abuse optional. Hearing criticism, optional. Hearing blame, optional. Judgment, optional. Wouldn't it be nice to never hear negative things directed at us ever again? And this is the secret. People are always trying to say one of two things. I love you, or please love me. People are trying to give you love, or they are trying to get love from you. We want to say, I love you, thank you so much, but instead we offer critical advice for the ways that, for how they might do it next time if they decide to help us. That's our thank you gift. Or we want to say, please love me. But we do it by blaming and criticizing our loved ones for the ways that they continually fail to meet our needs the way we think they should be met. So now you know the secret. At their core, the angriest and most frustrated of people believe in you. They see you as a wonderful, amazing source of things they desperately need. And like a screaming baby bouncing on their mother's hip that doesn't know how to thank you for what you've given them and doesn't know how to ask for what they need without hitting and kicking and screaming. Remember the story that Yvonne read to us about the therapist? With the first kid who elbowed him in the nose, he heard a story of illegitimacy and became furious. with the second kid who elbowed him in the same nose where it hurt even a lot more, he heard a story of legitimacy and became compassionate. The stories we hear from the actions of others matter because they completely change the outcome. So listen, for I love you. Listen, for please love me. Hear from everyone that you are a legitimate person because yes, indeed you are. Hear legitimacy. And lastly, the third spiritual practice is to speak legitimacy. These words on this page are sacred words of power and truth. Speak these words that have the ability, unlike any other words, to bring instant, intimate connection between all of us. Remember the Swedish prisoner in the responsive reading who didn't know how to speak his feelings. He didn't know how to speak his needs. What was it he said? I wish you had taught me 2 years ago what you taught me this morning. I wouldn't have had to kill my best friend. We know these words. We know how to use them in a sentence. But still, we choose to use other words to defend our positions, our stances, other words that erase the legitimacy of someone who disagrees with us or choose a solution we don't like. Bring back these words. Learn to speak these words of legitimacy fluently, because when you do, the endless war of who's right and who's wrong is finally over. The war is over. We can throw down our weapons. We can set our captives free. We can go back to kissing and hugging the people that we love and even the people that we don't. Because now the true needs are being discovered. Because now the true needs are being spoken. Because now, with the true needs, we can love powerfully with relevant solutions. When you vocalize accurately what someone else is feeling, you are bringing empathy into the world. When you identify what someone actually needs, you are opening the door to bring love into this world. When someone stops hearing any hint of blame, criticism, demand, expectation, or judgment, and they start hearing instead that you understand. And they hear you speaking the legitimacy of their feelings. And they hear you speaking out loud the legitimacy of their needs. In that moment, they hear love. In that sacred moment, you are love. And as all of us have already known for a long, long, long time, love is the ultimate solution. So may it be.